a society full of like divided lanes and rules and all this stuff that's preventing people from actually just interacting. And you have to do stuff to break past that. And I think it's also just reaching out and doing whatever the hell you want to do, you know? It's more fun that way. I'm Caleb Freese, and I'm one of the founders of Thousands Win, which is a rooftop pot farm.
My name's Julian Hensarling, and I'm the other half to Thousands Win. We first met in kindergarten, I guess, in Montessori school in Austin, Texas. Certainly, grew up as Montessori kids. Caleb moved from Austin and went off on his sort of path. I went off on mine, and then, was it last year? 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
At the climbing gym, Brooklyn Boulders, I ended up finding that he was teaching there and just happened to ask him if, are you Caleb Freese, and did you go to Austin Montessori School? And lo and behold, yeah, we both went to school, 20 years ago.
It's amazing how, like, kind of on the same page we've been, even after not hanging out, I mean, since 4th grade, basically, which is a long time, P.S. I moved to New York about 5 years ago from the West Coast. And one of the things that I did to start kind of coping with that change is just to start growing things and growing as much as possible. I started in my apartment and basically filled this place just to the brim with plants. It was a little out of control. Eventually, I started expanding and actually grew a bunch of plants out on the window planers out here, and that was my first step outside. And so I started thinking about, why do green roof companies not use vines more? We started thinking about things that you could plant as opposed to just morning glories. The first thought was grapevines, because they grow like crazy, but they're very temperamental. And then it didn't really actually come together as a project until we started thinking about hot plants. Thousands Win as a project was born out of the desire to kind of improve green roofs, really, in general, and mostly the access to green roofs. And that's something that we found that we pretty much spent a year of knocking our heads and sometimes each other's heads over, just trying to figure out how the hell to even start this.
Because it's been, very much, us doing it on our own, we've had to go, okay, I have a friend who does this, or my wife does this, or my wife's friend does this, and then before you know it, you have 6 different people in a room. I mean, that's been sort of like the impetus for the community we built.
And there's a lot of different ways that you can win along the way, which is, drinking beer, having a community, having a rooftop farm, having a brewery, all this cool stuff. But in reality, the overall win is just a better environment for New York City in general.
I hope that someone takes this idea and then starts growing something else, and before you know it, you have like ultra-local community farming and gardens that will, I think, affect not only the environment, but health. I mean, it'll cool stuff down, but it'll also mean that there's food that everybody wants and is good for you.
Bottom line is we're just trying to grow more shit in Brooklyn.
Claim for that, cheers. Here, raise it up, raise it up, raise it up. Raise it up. Yes.
I think that communities used to be a lot more confined and constrained because it was based a lot on location, where right now you can have communities that go beyond location or go beyond workplace.
Now you get these very kind of focused communities that people can be a part of from all sort of different walks of life, because all you're doing is trying to find something that you're interested in and learning a way to use that interest to be able to grow the people around you be able to educate the people around you. And I think that at that point, communities can become more powerful, can become more important, and really not just become something that is like what you're expected to do, but can become a part of your life.
It's hard to figure out like what you're gonna do to actually make a change and make a difference. Don't think about what to pursue, just go ahead and follow what you're interested in. I know I like growing things on rooftops, so I just went with that for a while. And I know I like beer, and eventually that kind of seemed to come together. That's awesome. But it takes time to actually develop that. Bottom line, it really has to do with the people you're around and the things you surround yourself with. So like, turn off that damn TV, hop on some cool shit, you know, like just pursue things of interest, and then you'll have a plenty interesting life, one that can actually benefit other people around. Is to actually make a difference and to actually have fun making a difference and to do it well. Let's actually start growing roofs, but let's also drink beer while we're doing it, and let's make that beer good too. Maybe what we're doing doesn't change the world, doesn't change New York at all, but we did change that roof. And if it's just as big as that, and we had fun doing that, sure, I'm all right with that.